Today we're going to be reading the book, The Greedy Triangle. But before we get started reading the book, we're going to create our own little book. So you will have the opportunity to create your own book of The Greedy Triangle using a sheet of paper and a pair of scissors. So before we begin, let's find out how to make our book. Make your own Greedy Triangle book. First, fold a rectangular sheet of paper into eighths. Fold it half lengthwise, fold it in half again, and fold it in half again to make a smaller book. Unfold the sheet and count the sections. You should have 8. Fold in half lengthwise to make a tent or a hamburger fold. Now, if these directions seem a little confusing, and they might, I understand. So the next slide will show you a quick video of how to do these first 2 steps. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make a small little book to use with the Greedy Triangle. First, get just a normal sheet of white paper. It doesn't have to be white, but that's what I have right now. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make a hot dog fold. Kids, you know what this is, where you take it vertically and you fold it in half and crease down the middle. Okay, I didn't quite get that exactly right, so let's get that on there. Next, you're going to fold up in half. Okay, so we've made fourths now. And we're going to fold one more time. So when you are done, your little book should look something like this. Stop. All right, you should have a small rectangular sheet of paper. Unfold that paper and fold it in to create a hamburger fold. Cut or tear along the center crease from the folded edge to the middle of the paper. Next, open the sheet again. You should see a little mouth. What you're going to do then is return to the first fold lengthwise, fold the ends of the lengthwise fold and push them toward the center to form a cross that can be folded into a little book. I know, these directions seem very confusing. And just reading them to you made me confused, and I've already done the book. So what I've done is I've created another short video to show you exactly what I mean using these steps. Good luck. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to create this cute little book here, just like this. So remember, we had this piece of paper. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to unfold it completely, right? And I'm going to count to make sure that I have 8 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 sections. So now what I want to do is I want to take the paper and fold it hamburger style down the middle, just like this. And you can see here's the fold and here's the open part. What I want to do is cut from the fold straight down this line to that middle section. So I'm going to take a pair of scissors, and you can have an adult help you if you'd like, but you're going to take and cut just to that line, and you're going to stop. Okay, put your scissors down. You're going to open the paper back up. Okay, you can see it's got like a little mouth there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold it hot dog way so that that mouth creates like a square, and we're going to push those ends together. Pull it down, fold it back over, and you will see that you have your very own Greedy Triangle book. Okay. Now you can put your title on here, The Greedy Triangle, and you're ready to work with me. Now you've created your own Greedy Triangle book. Follow along as we read the story to create your own version of this geometric adventure. Have fun illustrating this book, and remember to read it to someone once you've finished. I'm sure they will love hearing your version of the story. All right, let's get started. The Greedy Triangle, written by Marilyn Burns. illustrated by Gordon Silveria. On your book, on the front cover, can you write The Greedy Triangle, written by, and place your name there? Now, take a moment to illustrate the cover of your book. Once there was a triangle that was, as most triangles are, always busy. The triangle spent its time holding up roofs, supporting bridges, making music in a symphony orchestra, catching the wind for sailboats, being slices of pie and halves of sandwiches, and much, much more. Okay, open your book now to the first page, and can you draw a picture of a triangle doing something very important or working so hard? The triangle's favorite thing, however, was to slip into the place where people put their hands on their hips. That way I can always hear the latest news, it said, which I can tell my friends. The triangle's friends liked hearing the news. One day, the triangle began to feel dissatisfied. I'm tired of doing the same old things, it grumbled. There must be more to life. So the triangle went to see the local shapeshifter.
How may I help you?
The shapeshifter asked the triangle. I think if I had just one more side and one more angle, said the triangle, my life would be more interesting.
That's easy to do, said the shapeshifter.
Poof! The shapeshifter had turned the triangle into a quadrilateral. So in your book right now, can you change the triangle into a quadrilateral? What does the triangle look like now? Life changed in a wonderful way. The quadrilateral was happy with all the new things it could do. The quadrilateral could be a baseball diamond, or first, second, or third base. It could take a position on a checkerboard or a chessboard. It could be a television screen, a computer screen, or a movie screen. It could frame windows or frame pictures and much, much more. The quadrilateral's favorite thing, however, was to be the pages of a book. I learned so many interesting stories that way, it said, which I can tell my friends. The quadrilateral's friends liked hearing the stories. Do you like hearing stories? But one day, the quadrilateral began to feel dissatisfied. I'm tired of doing the same old things, it grumbled. There must be more to life. So the quadrilateral went back to the shapeshifter.
How may I help you now?
The shapeshifter asked the quadrilateral. I think if I just had one more side and one more angle, said the quadrilateral, my life would be more interesting.
Well, that's easy to do,
said the shapeshifter.
Poof!
The shapeshifter turned the quadrilateral into a pentagon. In your book, can you go to the next page and draw a picture of a pentagon? What does the triangle look like now? How is it different from before? Life changed in a wonderful way. The pentagon was happy with all the new things it could do. On a baseball diamond, the pentagon could be home plate. It could be a section on a soccer ball or appear inside whenever someone drew a five-pointed star. The pentagon's favorite thing, however, was to be the headquarters of the United States military near Washington, D.C. Oh, I hear all the top secrets that way, it said. It's too bad I can't tell them to my friends. The Pentagon's friends couldn't help but feeling left out. After a while, time seemed to pass slowly for the Pentagon, and it became dissatisfied. I'm tired of doing the same old things, it grumbled. There must be more to life. So the Pentagon went back to the shapeshifter.
So, you're here again,
the shapeshifter said to the Pentagon.
Now what would you like?
I think if I had just one more side and one more angle, said the Pentagon, my life would be more interesting.
Oh, that's easy to do,
said the shapeshifter. Woof! The shapeshifter turned the Pentagon into a hexagon. On the right side of your book now, can you draw a new picture? Can you draw a hexagon? What does the triangle look like now? Life changed again in a wonderful way. The hexagon was happy to be all the new things that it could do. The hexagon fit into the floor tiles in houses and patios and fancy crackers at parties and picnics. It worked as the socket of certain bolts and the prongs of certain wrenches. The hexagon's favorite thing, however, was to be a cell in a beehive. I love watching the bees as they buzz in and out, it said. The hexagon spent so much time in the beehive, it was too busy to talk to its friends. The friends missed the hexagon and couldn't help feeling ignored. Again and again, the shape became restless, dissatisfied, and unhappy with its life. Again and again, it returned to the shapeshifter for more sides and more angles. The shapeshifter agreed to turn it into one shape after another. A heptagon, an octagon, a nonagon, a decagon, and so on. Finally, the shape had many, many sides and many, many angles. Its sides were so small that it had trouble keeping balance. Its friends couldn't tell which side it was on and began to avoid the shape. So, in your book now, can you create a picture of what the greedy triangle became? Can you make it into a heptagon, an octagon, a decagon? You decide. One day, when the shape was going down a hill, it began to roll. Faster and faster it went, screeching around corners, crashing into fences and trees, colliding with bicycles, and terrifying walkers. At last, the shape came to a stop. It felt tired and dizzy and lonely and sad. Enough, thought the shape. I don't know which side is up. I can't keep my balance. My friends don't want me around anymore. The shape could no longer remember why it had been so unhappy as a triangle. Very carefully, it made its way back to the shapeshifter.
Aren't you happy yet?
The shapeshifter asked. I want to be a triangle again, the shape said.
I'm not surprised,
said the shapeshifter. Poof! The shapeshifter turned the shape back into a triangle. Can you draw a picture of a triangle in your book? The triangle was delighted to have its old shape back again and kept itself very busy. Once again, it held up roofs, supported bridges, made music in a symphony orchestra, caught the wind for sailboats, became slices of pie and halves of sandwiches,
and much, much more. Still, the triangle's favorite thing was to slip into the places where people put their hands on their hips. That way I can always hear the latest news, it said, which I can tell my friends. Its friends liked hearing the news and were glad that the triangle was back in shape again. The end. Now, in your book, you can put a final page in showing that the triangle was happy to be himself again. I hope you enjoyed this book.